This is Tiger Talk, brought to you by Bud Light. Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Also brought to you by DeKalb. Winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb brand corn. And by Shelter Insurance. Ask an agent about how Shelter's auto policy includes roadside assistance. Learn more at shelter.com.
1, 2, 3, incomplete! Start drinking it, folks! Eli Drinkwitz's Tigers are going to knock off the defending national champions.
Now, here's the voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly.
We are inside the South End Zone Complex at Faroe Field in Columbia. I'm Mike Kelly. Coach Eli Drinkwitz is alongside. A little later on in the show, we will introduce you to linebackers coach DJ Smith. Also, the man who handles video for Mizzou football, Kevin Riley. Our player guest tonight will be Nick Bolton. We're with you for the next hour. Mizzou Athletics would like to thank its premier partners, MU Healthcare and Shelter Insurance. Speaking of Shelter, put Shelter on your team for all of your insurance needs. You'll be glad you did. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com for a free personal protection review. We're your shield, we're your shelter. Coming up at 3 o'clock this Saturday afternoon, Missouri will host the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky 2-2 on the season as Missouri looks for its second consecutive win. With that, let's say hello to the head coach of the Tigers. It's great to see you, Eli Drinkwitz. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here. What a beautiful day here in Columbia today.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous day. And you're getting used to weather in the state of Missouri where it's 44 one day and rain and 84 the next.
Yeah, inconsistent, I'd say at best.
Yeah, inconsistent. Yeah, they say if you like the weather, stick around. It's going to change in about 5 minutes. So.
No doubt, no doubt. Looks like it's going to be another beautiful day, though, Saturday. A little bit cold. Bring your blankets, maybe some hot cocoa. If you can't bring it in the stadium, I'm sure we'll sell it to you.
We'll figure out a way. How has the week gone?
Yeah, been good. Thought our guys did an excellent job fighting through the weather. Tuesday we got some rain at the end of practice. Didn't flinch. Finished. Yesterday was cold, gray skies. Guys just had a great attitude about them, and excited about the opportunity this week.
Did you notice coming off of the win against LSU? Did you notice a little different attitude or feel around your team?
I think anytime there was a little bit more confidence.
Right.
There was a little bit more confidence. I think that we were disappointed we didn't get to play last Saturday.
Sure.
It felt like that momentum was there. But I think our guys have done a good job of putting that game away and moving on and focusing on this task, which is this week. It's a very good football team, really good in both sides of the trenches and on both sides of the ball. So, we got to have our best stuff. And what we did 2 weeks ago ain't going to happen. It ain't going to matter this week. We got to produce our own energy and our own excitement for this Saturday.
We'll dive into Kentucky in our next segment. Let's focus on the work week, though, the bye week, and then also this week. For you and for your staff, what was, if there was one, a biggest point of emphasis that you tried to implement?
For us in the bye week, it was all about the ball. For us offensively, taking care of the ball, protecting the football, special teams protecting the football, making sure that we possess the ball at the end of a special team, and then defensively getting the ball. We've only forced one takeaway. We've turned it over multiple times on special teams and multiple times on offense, and that's not long-term successful football. We've got to clean up those mistakes, and it's got to be a point of emphasis, and everybody's involved in it.
The one thing that we haven't talked about a lot, we've mentioned his name, we've talked about his play, but every week as I will watch the games and think about the impact that he's having, I'm talking about Nick Bolton from a defensive standpoint, who we're going to visit with later.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a young man that puts his footprint almost on every play.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, he's been fortunate that he plays in the perfect scheme that fits his ability. He's got a great knack for diagnosing plays and knowing where the ball is supposed to hit. And the way our defense is designed, the defensive line eats up the double teams and allows him to run free. But once you're free, you got to make the tackle. And he does. He's a one-man wrecking crew and makes tackles all over the field. And his preparation is the separation for him on Saturdays. He prepares, he watches tape, he knows what the defense is. When you ask him about that goal line play on third down, he knew based on the running back alignment with the quarterback it was going to be a pass. I mean, just little things like that make him an elite player. I
remember watching an episode of Inside the New Zoo, and one of the things that Jake Bresky was talking about with Nick Bolton is on his recruiting visit, while other guys were kind of out and doing things, he was in the film room with Trez Hall watching tape.
Yeah.
Which kind of speaks to kind of the mentality that he had at a very young age, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he really exudes what we talk about, chasing two dreams. He is in the middle of chasing the dream to be an NFL player and to also be the best version of himself, getting a degree. And when you're really focused on those two things, there's not a lot of time for other stuff.
We haven't talked about Devon Nicholson. I'm just kind of curious, just your thoughts on how this young man from Detroit has played through the first 3 games.
Well, you know what? He's done what we've asked him to do. I mean, there's always things on the tape that he can improve on. And it's not really fair that he's compared to Nick Bolton on every play. But he does a nice job of knowing what he's supposed to do. We've got to continue to increase, I think, the physicality with which he plays with. But he's going to be a good player for us for a long time.
You know, one thing, let's go back to that 4th down just for a second. I don't want to harsh on LSU, but again, trying to talk about guys that we haven't spent a lot of time on. I think it was on 3rd down, Kel Utsey.
Yeah,
absolutely blew up the middle of the line.
Yeah. I think it was 2nd down, but it was
exactly.
2nd down. He does what he does to our offensive line all the time: sheds the block, gets in the backfield, penetrates, causes the running back to stop at in the backfield and try to jump cut. And by that time, with our defense, the way they swarm, I think Nick, Bledsoe, Martez Manuel were able to be there, rally up, tackle him, and drive him back.
You get some guys back this week that didn't play against LSU, particularly in the wide receiver corps, with Chisholm and Hazleton in particular. How do you evaluate, in terms of who gets an opportunity to start based on past experience and based on what happened to those guys? How does that work?
Yeah, we're in a what have you done for me lately business, and the people who are productive are going to play. The people who practice the best are going to play. The people who play with the greatest amount of effort when the ball is not thrown to them are going to play. We have a saying, no block, no rock, so they got to block on the perimeter. And then if they do that and play with great energy and effort, then we'll throw them the football. And you're going to see a lot of different people out there. And the guys that are playing hard, like their hair's on fire, they're going to stay out there. And those that aren't, then they get to stand on the sideline and watch.
It's Eli Drinkwitz. I'm Mike Kelly. This is Tiger Talk from the South End Zone Complex at Faroe Field in Columbia. We're back after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Medical bills, insurance agencies, stress.
When you're injured in an accident, it can take over your life.
Which is why at Harper Evans Wade in Nedemeyer, we work hard to get the results our clients deserve.
Meeting with our clients in person with free consultations, answering their questions, and working quickly to get results. It's what sets us apart, and it's why families across the state trust us to win their cases. Harper Evans Wade in Nedemeyer. We'll fight for you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
For children who rely on subsidized lunches at school, weekends are not always fun. The Food Bank for Central and Northeast Missouri provides buddy packs full of nutritious food to children who might not otherwise eat when they're not at school. During a year when more people are struggling to feed their families due to COVID-19, you can help them with a gift to the Score Against Hunger campaign today. Visit scoreagainsthunger.org to learn more. The Food Bank is proud to be the official charitable partner of Mizzou Athletics.
On the field or in the field, winning is a mindset, growing and evolving throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn, offering exclusive genetics and whole farm solutions for consistent yield potential season after season. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb brand corn. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
The Club at Old Hawthorne is a terrific golf course with amazing practice facilities, which is why the Mizzou golf teams play here. Here's what you might not know. The Club at Old Hawthorne is a community with a welcoming environment that's a perfect fit for an active lifestyle. Golf, tennis, pickleball, swimming, and a fitness center with classes all at one club. The Club at Old Hawthorne. Visit oldhawthorne.com to learn more or schedule a tour. I'm Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers. How much do I love Old Hawthorne? I live here.
Central Bank is your hometown bank. It's the only place for Tiger checking. Open it today at www.centralbank.net. Partner with the Tigers and the Food Bank, the official charitable partner of Mizzou Athletics. This is the 25th year of celebrating the Score Against Hunger campaign. You know, hunger knows no season. Visit scoreagainsthunger.org to learn more about the Score Against Hunger campaign presented by MPICS. A little bit later on, we will hear from Lindsay Lopez, who's the executive director of the Food Bank for Central and Northeast Missouri. Remember to mask up, Mizzou. All fans that attend any home game this fall and visit the University of Missouri campus are required to wear your mask. Also, visit MizzouGameDay.com to learn about all of the stadium policies before you attend a Mizzou sporting event like this Saturday when the Tigers host the Kentucky Wildcats. 3 o'clock is the kickoff. Our coverage on the Tiger Network begins at 1. Eli Drinkwitz is with us a little bit later on. DJ Smith will join us. We'll also hear from Nick Bolton. Mark Stoops is 46 and 46 in his 8th season and really has done a phenomenal job in terms of building consistency in that football program, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's absolutely done a tremendous job. Like I said, I've got a lot of respect for the way they go about their business and their program. They've recruited tremendous in both sides of the lines of scrimmage, which in the SEC I think is where the game is won. You have to win in the O-line and D-line. He's done that. He's got an identity. I think his offensive coordinator, Eddie Grant, has done as good a job as anybody in the last 3 years in this league from an offensive coordinating standpoint. And so they do a nice job of understanding what their program is, and he's achieving a lot of success.
And they're not afraid to put the ball on the ground and just start grinding clock on it, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're built to do that. They're really big up front offensively. They're possession-oriented on offense, and then their defense is possession-oriented, meaning they're going to make you drive the length of the field and make and let you either execute for 12 to 15 plays and score, or once you make a mistake, get behind the chains, and they're in exactly where they want you to be.
And they try to baffle you a little bit in terms of coverages.
Yeah, they've got some mixing of 2 high, 1 high, trap the corner, play just a little bit of man-to-man, drop 8. So they've got a plethora of coverages that they'll run.
How do you prepare a young quarterback for what he's going to see on Saturday?
You try to give him as many tools in the toolbox as you can. Ultimately, he's got to trust his progression, and he's got to move coverage with his eyes, which is something that usually experienced quarterbacks can do. And so, the best thing that we can do is establish the run and not be behind the chains, and then it will take the pressure off of him.
And your offensive line, for the most part, has done a pretty good job for you this season. I think maybe, is this fair to say, maybe have they performed at a level that you didn't anticipate?
Yeah, I think they have performed at a level that's better than probably what I expected, and that's a tribute to Coach Johnson and a tribute to those guys like Michael Mayetti and Larry Borum and Case Cook, really taking the other guys on and bringing them under the wing and providing consistency.
You told a neat story to us last week about Zeke Powell.
Yeah.
About the fact that he'd spent the night in the hospital. How is he this week? Back to normal?
Yeah, he's good, but it's just Thursday, so usually with him something comes up between today and tomorrow. But he's had a good week of practice. Again, this is a young man who joined our program on July 24th, and now he's the starting tackle in the SEC at the left tackle position, the most crucial position on the lines of scrimmage. And so we're tremendously excited that he's here, but know that he's got a lot of growth to do and a lot of learning to do, a lot like a lot of our positions. And so we take it one step at a time, one practice at a time, one period at a time, and see if we can continue to get better.
How do you feel about the depth that you have at tight end right now?
Well, I mean, I think we got 3 capable guys. Yeah. You got Daniel Parker, you got Nico Hay, you got Logan Christopherson. We're still working on Messiah getting in there, and he helps us a lot on special teams. And so those 4 guys, can contribute and do what we ask them to do.
Yeah, Nico's an interesting story, too. A kid that, really didn't play what you would call a classic tight end position when he was in high school.
Yeah, he's a young man who's transformed his body to be able to play the position that we ask him to play, which is a little bit more in the box and block and do some things. And he accepts it with a great attitude. I know he's excited about getting that touchdown last week, though.
You had a meeting earlier this week with your team, and you asked them a question that you knew the answer to. You asked them to raise their hands.
Yeah.
Is how the story goes. Just to take me inside that a little bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to snap us into it on Sunday so we would quit patting ourselves on the back and reading our own press clippings and realize what was ahead of us. The reality of it is nobody in that room, myself or any of the staff that's been brought in or any of the staff that's here, has beaten Kentucky in a Mizzou uniform. And so we got a tall task ahead of us. And you don't win that game based on hype. You don't win that game based on facts. You win that game based on preparation. And the same thing I told our team yesterday. If you flip a coin 5 times and it lands on heads 5 times, the next time you flip it, it's still 50-50 whether or not it's going to be heads or tails. And so the streak doesn't really have anything to do with what happens on Saturday. What happens on Saturday is all a result of, did we prepare the way we're supposed to? Do we protect the football the way we're supposed to on offense? Do we take the football away from them like we're supposed to on defense? Do we stop the run, and are we able to run the football? That's what's going to determine the outcome. All the other stuff is just something to motivate us and keep us going.
How do you feel that they've done from a preparation standpoint in terms of being able to lock in each and every week?
To be honest, I thought week 1 we were prepared. Week 2, obviously we didn't prepare well enough because we didn't play well.
Yeah.
And so week 3, obviously, we did prepare. And I think maybe anytime you face a little adversity, it causes everybody to focus in a little bit. I think being down some players caused everybody to really lock themselves in. And so I think that's what we're trying to create this week, with the understanding that, we may have our guys, but the reality of it is, we still haven't beat these guys. So we've got to focus, and whatever we've done in the past is not what we need to do moving forward in order to win.
It's Eli Drinkwitz. I'm Mike Kelly. More Tiger Talk comes your way after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Selling your home is super easy.
Said no one, ever.
You have to choose a reputable agent, discover online home values aren't reality, clean and declutter, fix that pesky roof leak, get through home inspections, and wait. At Next Home, we've partnered with true professionals and set incredibly high agent standards, so selling your home is smooth and stress-free. Let us help you sell your next home. Next Home Paradigm. Visit nexthomeparadigm.com. That's nexthomeparadigm.com. Each office is independently owned and operated.
At Central Bank, we turn possibilities into realities, and for our customers, relationships into returns. We're a community bank that goes where you go, with comprehensive tools and seamless solutions for every state.
Tigers, Mizzou Vintage, tradition bottled. MizzouVintage.com.
When a coach approaches a referee about a bad call, the right words will keep him from being ejected. When a woman becomes pregnant unexpectedly, she can feel like she's being ejected from her own life plans. Words matter. The Vitae Foundation's research-based messaging lets women know about caring support and healthy options at local pregnancy help centers, mastering the words that matter in life. That's Vitae. Check them out at adsforlife.org.
At all our press conferences and on every game day, Sumner One is behind the scenes keeping Zoo Nation informed. The official document technology partner of the Mizzou Tigers, Sumner One provides more than printers and toner or press notes and stats. They're a teammate with business solutions that keep the Tigers roaring. Go to SumnerOne.com. See how they can keep your business roaring too. That's SUMNERONE.com.
The 2020 Ford F-150 is built for the Midwest with everything you want in a pickup. Want the power and efficiency of a potent 6-engine lineup? Want top-rated towing and best-in-class payload that never quits? What about the latest driver assist tech that gives you the confidence for any road ahead? The 2020 F-150 has it all and more. That's what makes F-Series the top-selling truck for 43 years and counting. Get behind the wheel of an F-150 today at your quality Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Wherever you compete, winning has roots. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Coming up in our next segment, we'll hear from Missouri linebackers coach DJ Smith. Coach Eli Drinkwitz is with us a little bit later on. Nick Bolton will join us. Virtual recruiting last Friday. How'd it go?
Yeah, went really good, and we needed to do it because we're in a dead week this week, paying some of our NCAA penalties. So it was great. We're able to watch guys and then, follow up with text messages and phone calls later that night and on Saturday to just continue that conversation.
Because of the sanctions, how have you had to adjust things from a recruiting calendar standpoint?
Yeah, it's it's not easy.
No, exactly.
Especially right now because the only way that you can have communication with a recruit is through, talking, using the phone, and
Sure.
we're in a dead period. So, you go 7 days without talking to a recruit. It's hard to continue to build relationships, and it's so it's a definite challenge. It's if it's they institute it to penalize somebody, well, they sure did that.
DJ Smith was as part of your staff at Appalachian State last year.
Yeah.
He also was a terrific player for that institution, played in the NFL for about 4 years. What was it about it? What is it about his makeup that you wanted him to be part of this staff?
Well, first off, he's a tremendous person. He's got great character. I've not ever beat him. We used to have a little running joke at App where I would try to beat him into the weight room to work out, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, that dude is always working out. He's there before I get here, which is anywhere between 5:30 and 5:45, and he's always there finishing his workout. So he's got tremendous discipline as a person. And then the other thing is he's a great teacher. He does a tremendous job. Every time I would get done working out and come up, I'd walk by his office, and he's always in there watching tape. He was always preparing, watching NFL tape, watching linebackers, adding ideas for scheme. And so, that to me lets me know he's going to be a big-time football coach. And he already is because he's the linebackers coach at Missouri and doesn't get much more big time than that. But he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's also an absolute outstanding recruiter. Does a great job building relationships with these guys. We put him in, some new territories for us, and he's been able to come out and get some guys, and that's a tribute to him and how he recruits.
Where are his territories?
Well, I really can't say because then they'd be able to identify who the recruit was for specific reasons. But he does. He's got some good area.
Yeah. One final thought: offensive football. We're seeing a variety of different changes over the course of not only the last 5 years, but if you take it even back further, even the last 20 years. Where does it go from here? Does the spread continue to be the thing that people talk about and options off the spread? In your mind, what do you see this thing going?
I honestly don't know. Football's a reactionary game, and everybody's trying to identify what's the next curve. I honestly don't think it's throwing it every down. I don't think it's lining up in five wides trying to go as fast as you can. I do think it is what we're doing, which is, a pro-tempo style offense where it's multiplicity, multiple formations, multiple things for defenses to try to fit and scheme because there's only so much time in their work week that they can do. And so it gives us an advantage that we're able to be so multiple. But I don't know. That's the beauty of football is you never quite know what to expect.
You play a lot of guys on the offensive side already, right? And so as you continue to build this thing and get the players that you want in here, does it become multiple personnel groupings too at different positions?
Yeah, we play a ton of personnel groupings. We play a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever gives you an advantage. For us, it's all about trying to find matchups. Tyler Beatty on a linebacker, this wide receiver on this corner, this wide receiver on a nickel. Who is the weak link on the defense that you can try to figure out? Okay, how do I get them one-on-one, whether it's in man or in zone coverage, or how can I drain the box and create an extra gap in the run game? And so those are the things we look at. Some people just think that tempo is going to give them an advantage. We have the ability to tempo because I do think it can be an advantage. But it's not something we rely on all the time. We rely on coaches doing their job, which is to figure out a way to put your players in a position to be successful.
It's great to see you tonight. Go get a win this weekend. Thank you.
All right, thank you, MIZ.
ZOU, that is head coach Eli Drinkwitz. It is the 109th homecoming this weekend. Of course, the game originally was scheduled against Vanderbilt. Moved back to this week with Kentucky coming to town and a 3 o'clock start coming up on Saturday. It is also the Score Against Hunger campaign. We're in the 25th year of the Score Against Hunger campaign, which was started by Larry Smith. The person that heads up the food bank for Central and Northeast Missouri is their president and CEO, Lindsay Lopez. Well, it is hard to imagine that it has been 25 years since Score Against Hunger was started to help benefit the food bank of Central and Northeast Missouri. With us now is the president and CEO of the food bank, our friend Lindsay Lopez. You think about the legacy of this. And it goes back to one of my favorite people of all time, the late, great Larry Smith, and his wife Cheryl, who was also very much involved. That started what is now Score Against Hunger.
It's an absolutely amazing legacy that the SCORE campaign has had to benefit the food bank over time, and the Smiths, with their involvement initially, just phenomenal.
Well, and they set a high bar, too, right? Because of their involvement, because of the funds that were able to be raised, it became natural for other coaches that followed Coach Smith, Coach Pinkel, Coach Odom, now Coach Drinkwitz, to also continue with their support of Score Against Hunger.
Absolutely true.
You have a campaign that, because as we know, 2020 is much different than any of us could have ever imagined, certainly with the game of football, certainly in life. You devised a phrase. Tell me about that phrase.
Well, with it being the 25th anniversary this year, early on we had a lot of plans, and like everything with COVID, everyone has had to make sacrifices and has had to change and adapt. So we decided we would go with a tagline that hunger knows no season. This football season is different than anything we've experienced before, but hunger truly doesn't know a season.
And when you say that, it comes from really the experiences that you've had now at the food bank and really dealing with the partner agencies that you work with and the 32 counties that you serve. Elaborate just on, from a sheer number standpoint, what really is tangible information about the need in our individual communities around the state of Missouri.
Well, we're still serving more than 100,000 people every single month. We've seen lots of changes, lots of ebbs and flows. What we know to be true is throughout our service area, 32 counties, which part of that is very rural, as you know, we've seen people who are visiting those pantries, those partner agencies for the first time. Many of them have never had to utilize those services before, and that's been a humbling experience for them. It's something that we're certainly sensitive to, and that's why we do this work. We're here to help.
This would normally be a different game setting. How can people, though, continue to help?
Well, you won't see us there passing a bucket or having the opportunity for people to give on site. You will see some vehicles represented there, and you'll see our brand represented as well. But we would just ask people to take a moment to go to our website, consider making a contribution. Because of our purchasing power, we can take $1 and turn that into $21 worth of groceries. Go to our website, that's sharefoodbringhope.org. Anything you can do to help would be so appreciated.
Someone who jumped in very early on in this pandemic was Chase Daniel, and he really spearheaded an effort reflecting on the 2007 season with a bunch of former teammates, and that was a very successful fundraising tool for the food bank, wasn't it?
What a terrific football player, what a terrific person in life, what a generous person that he and his wife both were and are through that campaign. It was just fantastic. I can't say enough about it. Brought in over $100,000 early on in this campaign for us.
A partner of Mizzou Sports Properties, a partner of the food bank, is Missouri Employers Mutual.
And again, another just tremendous partner. MEM has stepped up for us over the last several years with a match opportunity. This year they decided that they wanted it to specifically go to the SCORE campaign. And to date, we've brought in over $75,000 because of that contribution.
Lindsay, what does it mean to your organization, the Food Bank for Central and Northeast Missouri, to have the designation as the official charitable partner of Mizzou athletics?
It means that we have been able to really formalize the Square Against Hunger campaign over time as we celebrate this 25th anniversary. It means that we have greater ways to build awareness about the fact that food insecurity is a real problem that exists not just in the 32 counties that we serve, but across the state of Missouri and, of course, across the nation.
What does the future hold?
You know, if only we all had a crystal ball to know what this looks like post-pandemic, if things change at all for the better. You know, we are committed to our mission. I can't say enough about the people who work in this organization because they are so dedicated and they've worked tirelessly during this pandemic and will continue to. So we plan to be around for another 25 years and beyond.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Lindsay Lopez, President and CEO of the Food Bank for Central and Northeast Missouri. Tiger Talk continues after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Mizzou Nation, I'm Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers.
And I'm Matt Michaels, not quite the voice of the Missouri Tigers.
But he is really, really gifted. Each and every week, Matt and I get together for this little thing called the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast, presented by our friends at Shelter Insurance. Each and every week, we promise new content and, what's that word you like to say, hot takes?
Hot takes. Why not? Hot takes. Yeah, that works.
Anyway, join us. The Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast, brought to you by Shelter Insurance from MUTigers.com.
I had my life all planned out. That college diploma was within my grasp, and I was ready to conquer the world. Then the unexpected happened. I got pregnant. I didn't think I could handle a baby, not at that point. So I went online, and what I found was so unexpected. People who cared about me, about my health, and about my future. Pregnancy help centers are there with a pro-woman approach to life's biggest decisions. Learn more at adsforlife.org. This message brought to you by the Vitae Foundation.
We understand that sometimes the daydreamer is the visionary, sometimes the rambler is actually the mentor, and sometimes the eccentric is really the change maker. We understand that greatness is often misunderstood, even underappreciated, but it is greatness that defines us and drives us forward. At Great Southern Bank, we are proud to support all the many individuals who make our community truly great. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC.
Your backyard should be an oasis, not a challenge. With Steel, you can enjoy great value on tools that'll get you there. Right now, save $20 on the BGA 57 battery blower set. Now just $179.99. Set includes tool, AK-20 battery, and AL101 charger. Shop online, pick up at any of over 9,000 local Steel dealers. Find yours at STIHLdealers.com. Offer valid through November 30th, 2020 at participating dealers while supplies last.
On the field or in the field, winning is a mindset, growing and evolving throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn, offering exclusive genetics and whole farm solutions for consistent yield potential season after season. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb brand corn. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Tiger Talk continues from the South End Zone Complex at Faroe Field in Columbia. I'm Mike Kelly. Coming up a little later, Nick Bolton will join us on the show. We'll also visit with Kevin Riley as well. Let Shelter take you to the zoo this football season. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com/Mizzou. They will register you for a chance to win 2 tickets to a Tiger home football game during the 2020 season. Well, we're pleased to welcome to the program the man that Eli Drinkwitz says he can never beat into the gym in the morning, linebackers coach DJ Smith. So that was a running thing back at App, huh?
It was a running thing. I remember when I first met him, he said he likes to work out, and I was like, okay, I like to work out too. I'll be in there like 4 o'clock in the morning. He was like, oh, yeah, I'll be in there at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, no way. And then that first week, he kind of just showed up. I was like, okay. Then it got to the second week, and then by the third week, it was over. It was over.
When did you meet him? You played at App State. Let's let people know you were a terrific linebacker. You were there from 07 to 10. We're part of that 07 national championship team.
Right.
You had 4 different teams that you got a chance to play with in the NFL, including the Packers for a couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
When did you meet Eli Drinkwitz?
Funny story. I actually met Eli Drinkwitz before he knew who I was. I remember I think it was either my first year full-time at App, or I was either quality control at App, and we went to a camp at NC State, and I remember walking by him, and just as a young coach, you're just trying to meet everybody. You figure it out by the big hat. Coach Drink always wore the big hat, and I was like, okay, he seems like somebody important. I need to make sure I shake his hand. And I remember walking up to him, shaking his hand, like, hey, Coach, I'm DJ Smith. And, he was like, hey, bud, how you doing? Just seeing him passing, and just funny how I think a year later I'm interviewing for him.
When did you realize that coaching was something that you wanted to do?
Oh, man, it kind of took a while for me. Like you said, alluded to earlier, I was a player forever. I think I got my first coaching shot was my dad. I think it was middle school basketball for girls in 2014. I think it was maybe 3 weeks after I got done playing. I was on the practice squad for the Browns, and I got released. And I think maybe 2 weeks out, and I was just not doing anything. My dad was like, hey, come help me coach. I was like, I don't know. He said, you can be my strength coach. And I was like, all right, you're just trying to get me out the house. So, I was out there, girls were running miles before practice, conditioning drills after practice, and just kind of evolved from there.
So how did you, from a mentality standpoint, take it from being in the NFL and on the Browns practice squad to now helping coach women's basketball, girls basketball at the high school level?
Yeah. It helped for me that I have younger sisters. It's funny that one of my younger sisters, she was actually on the team.
Yeah.
So, for me, it was just, I was always around. I've been around sports my whole life. So, I've been around my dad my whole life, obviously. And, he's always been coaching. I think he started coaching 3 years before I was born. So I'm 31. So if my math is right, 34. He's been coaching for 34 years still to this day. So I guess it was kind of thing that I've always watched him do it. And I was a kid. I was like, I don't want to coach. I just want to play. If I'm not playing, I just want to be normal. But, for me, normal was coaching, apparently.
I'm getting to know this staff, right, in this first season. COVID prevented any of us from getting a chance to know each other prior to the season.
Right.
But here's what I'm learning about individuals that we're meeting each and every week.
Right.
High character, high energy.
Yes, sir.
Good people.
Absolutely.
Accurate?
Yes. Spot on.
And so you saw that, though. You saw something in Eli Drinkwitz.
Yes.
When you decided to join his staff at App last season.
Yes.
What was it that you thought could help take you in this wonderful world called coaching?
I think one thing that me and Coach Drink have in common, we're very hungry.
Yeah.
We have that burning desire to want to get better every day. We want to win. And, obviously within the rules, but we are about winning and whatever it takes to win. And we're really serious about the preparation, everything, about the process, everything that goes into it. And when I interviewed with him, I saw a guy that was just as hungry as me, to make his way in this game, in this profession. And just to help young men be better.
You've got some guys that want to do it the right way too, that are in your room,
yes,
your locker room, position room, I should say, with the linebacker group. And I look at Nick Bolton, and not only the body of work this year, but the body of work since he's arrived at Missouri.
Right.
How enjoyable is it each and every day to be able to work with a young man like that?
I think I'm extremely blessed and lucky. He's definitely they say player's coach. He's a coach's player. Yeah. He takes coaching. He can see things that sometimes I might not see. We kind of feed off of each other. We're back and forth as far as, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? He's a tremendous leader, and the kid works hard, man. He works hard. He's a blue collar guy. He brings his lunch pail in. He's just ready to get after it every day.
Let's talk about the other guys that are in your room. Just Devon Nicholson's a guy that started. Cameron Wilkins, a guy who's had starting experience and has played a lot. Chad Bailey got in a couple of plays last week. Just walk me through that group and just kind of your thoughts on the depth you have at that position.
I think we're coming along. We're getting better, obviously, every day, every week. Like you alluded to earlier, Devon Nicholson. A young player, I think he's growing into his own. He's starting to form his body, get bigger, get stronger. Cameron Wilkins is another guy, veteran guy that played a lot of snaps last year for us. I think he brings a leadership. He's position flexibility, being able to play both spots. Chad Bailey, he's another guy that's coming off of a knee injury last year. So he's kind of been working himself back into it. His confidence level is really high right now. Really impressed with him. And Jamal Brooks, who's another veteran guy who's been here a long time. And, you know, he's a core special teams player for us, really good leader in the room for us. So I think we got a good mix of guys. And, you know, I'm excited to come in every day and just give them everything I got.
It's a group that, as the entire defense, is going to be tested this weekend by Kentucky.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, a team that likes to load it up, and they're not afraid to pound the football.
Absolutely. It's a team that comes in, you know, they love to run football. You know, as a linebacker, what can you not love about a team? You know that they're going to run the football, so, you know, it's going to be fun to watch.
It's great to see you, great to meet you. Thank you so much, and look forward to doing it again.
Yes, sir, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That's DJ Smith, Missouri's linebackers coach. We'll have more after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Buying a home is super easy.
Said no one, ever.
You have to choose a reputable agent, know the difference between MIP and PMI, deal with offer rejections, show the house to your in-laws, get a home inspection, and wait. At Next Home, we've partnered with true professionals and set incredibly high agent standards, so your home purchase is smooth and stress-free. Let us help you find your next home. Next Home Paradigm. Visit nexthomeparadigm.com. That's nexthomeparadigm.com. Each office is independently owned and operated.
The 2020 Ford F-150 is built for the Midwest with everything you want in a pickup. Want the power and efficiency of a potent 6-engine lineup? Want top-rated towing and best-in-class payload that never quits? What about the latest driver assist tech that gives you the confidence for any road ahead? The 2020 F-150 has it all and more. That's what makes F-Series the top-selling truck for 43 years and counting. Get behind the wheel of an F-150 today at your quality Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVWR.
Life's full of little challenges. What's a good APY? What is an APY? HELOC, HSA, NOW account? These are words? How exactly do you... This is when you need your go-to. The person who knows how to explain it, do it, make it happen. At Great Southern Bank, we understand the importance of having a go-to. Someone who can share advice and point you in the right direction. Great Southern Bank, your go-to for how to. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
MU Healthcare is holding a virtual hiring event for registered nurses on October 28th. If you've ever wondered what it's like to work for Mid-Missouri's premier health system, or have thought about making a change in your career, sign up for an opportunity to chat with one of their nurse recruiters. MU Healthcare nurses get great benefits like childcare options, benefits from day one, and opportunities for growth. Visit muhealth.org/RN event to sign up.
Whether you're just starting on a college degree, finishing one, or getting a higher one, team up with the University of Missouri, Mizzou Online. With the most degrees and the most awarded faculty, Mizzou Online. Together, we can make the most of you. Learn more at online.missouri.edu.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Tigers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Tiger Pride, powered locally.
Mizzou football proud to partner with the Missouri Credit Union Hy-Vee, Missouri Employers Mutual, in an effort to sack hunger in Missouri. For each Tiger sack during the 2020 season, each partner donates $300 to the food bank for Central and Northeast Missouri. We're inside the South End Zone complex at Faroe Field in Columbia. We're coming up on Saturday. Missouri will host the Kentucky Wildcats in a 3 o'clock kickoff. Our coverage begins at 1. He wears number 32 on his Mizzou jersey. He's from Frisco, Texas. Junior linebacker Nick Bolton joins us. It's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing wonderful, and I've been so impressed with just how well you have played this season. And, you know, you're a guy that keeps outside distractions at a minimum and focuses on the craft at hand and trying to make yourself the best football player. Are you playing at a level that you anticipated you would play at in your junior season, 3 games in?
Yeah, I figured I was going to come in and kind of pick up where I left off last season. I'm still not to where I kind of want to be at this point. I feel like I left a couple plays out there throughout earlier games in the season. So I'm still trying to get a little bit better. I'm still trying to stack days up, but I feel like I'm in a good position right now, and I'm looking forward to helping our team win.
The focus is Kentucky. We'll talk about them in just a second. But every Mizzou fan listening tonight still remembers the play that you made on third down to bat the ball down against LSU in that wonderful goal line stand. Before we talk about that play in particular, what does a series of downs like that do for a defense in terms of confidence moving forward?
Just big on confidence, especially coming from Tennessee. We gave up 230 on the ground, and so just to get 3 downs or 4 downs at the 1 yard line and have a stand, it instills a lot of confidence in our front seven, especially. They ran the ball twice from the inside zone behind the big offensive line. They didn't get nothing out of it, and so all day I challenged our D linemen the night prior to the game. They got 230. A couple of dudes from Tennessee said it felt good about getting the easy yards on first and second down, and so the D line stepped up to the test. They plugged gaps early. Everybody played as a unit up front. Everybody maintained their gaps. So we didn't do very well in Tennessee, and we bounced back in LSU. And so I just instilled a bunch of confidence in our group.
During your recruiting visit, other guys kind of went out and were doing things, and that night you were with Terez Hall,
yes,
watching game film. And the reason why I bring that up, because had you not had that mentality and maturity, you might not have been prepared to make the play that you made on third down. Is that a proper setup?
Yes, sir, for sure.
Yeah, so take us through what you saw on third down from LSU.
So the first 2 downs, they ran an inside zone. I was coming off the edge. They ran inside zone, the A-gap opposite side. The third down, they flipped the running back to my side. Same formation, same idea of the play instead of handing the ball off. With number 6 blocking the edge, he was responsible for going in front of me, going to the flat. They had a pick play. It was a legal pick play because the ball was going to be caught 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. So it was a great play design. But once I saw number 6 go across my face, I figured he's probably getting the ball. I figured throughout the day he had a big day. I was going to give him the ball sometime on the 1 yard line. He happened to go across my face, and then I saw the quarterback pull the ball at the running back's stomach. And I tried to get my hands up. I probably should have caught it, but I'll take the PBU.
No, take the pass breakup, and of course your guy, Blood did it on fourth down. What is it like to be in this football program under the leadership of Eli Drinkwitz? Just what is it like for you as players to be around a guy that obviously cares about you guys, but also brings a level of excitement and enthusiasm to work each day?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Coach Drinkwitz brings a lot of energy to the program. It's even energy to the little things. And that's kind of where we kind of try to make our main steps is attention to detail of the little things. And so when you have a head coach that brings that type of passion to ball security, energy to ball security, energy of catching punts or fitting the block the correct way, or even on takeaway circuit we do twice a week. And so just bringing the energy to those little small drills kind of instills confidence in what we got going here and going forward. And so Coach Drinkwitz been doing a hell of a job of just getting us lined up, getting us equipped for each week, coming in there every day with the same energy, enthusiasm, regardless of how he feels or whatever the day it is. It could be Sunday afternoon or Monday morning. You're going to see Coach Drinkwitz have the same attitude and mindset every day, and that kind of rubs off on his players as well.
Let's close with the challenge ahead. Kentucky comes to town, and I think this is a fair assessment, watching them on film, watching a number of their games. This is a team that, from an offensive mindset, wants to challenge your manhood. Accurate?
Yes, sir.
Walk me through what you see from them from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, they're big up front. They got 2 running backs that we played last year. They got two different types of running backs. Yeah. One's a speed back, one's powerful. They also run quarterback run plays, design runs for the quarterback, trying to get the numbers. But overall, they got a lot of speed on the perimeter as well. So they just try to make sure that your gaps sound throughout the game. If you get one person out of a gap, it could be disastrous down the stretch because you got 2 guys pulling. You got to make sure you have somebody inside the pull, outside the pull, and just making sure everybody does their 111th is important this week. And so they're going to run the ball. We know that especially on first and second down, try to stay in front of the change, keep the third downs and third and manageable. And so we just got to make sure that we come out, dominate first and second downs, and give us a chance on third.
Thank you so much for your time tonight. Keep playing at a very high level.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Nick Bolton. I'm Mike Kelly. More of Tiger Talk comes your way after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, IMG College.
At Central Bank, we turn possibilities into realities. And for our customers, relationships into returns. We're a community bank that goes where you go, with comprehensive tools and seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey. Do more with your money. Start your journey today at centralbank.net. Central Bank. We do banking better. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Don't let life get in the way of what's most important. Visit shelterinsurance.com to learn more. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. They can help save lives by not having play dates. That's right. By replacing get-togethers with virtual play dates and video chats, they can help slow the evil spread of germs. And if your superheroes do go outside, make sure they continue their superhero wing by staying 6 feet away from others to protect everyone in America land. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This episode of Tiger Talk, with other great content and episode, is all available on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast presented by Shelter Insurance. Be sure to subscribe to it today. He's in his first season handling video operations for the Missouri football program. His name's Kevin Riley. Kevin, how are you tonight?
Good. How you doing, Mike? Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. And this is one of the things that I love about this show is, you know, it's not just about players and coaches. It's about the people that don't necessarily get the recognition that are at it, you know, 24 hours a day trying to make this football program better. You're in your first year at Missouri. You spent the last 9 years at Boise State.
Yes.
What was it about coming to the University of Missouri that attracted you?
I think after 9 years in one place, I kind of needed a new challenge.
Yeah.
And I thought Missouri, especially with Drink, I've known him since 2014 when he was a tight ends coach at Boise State. We've kept in touch ever since then, and just knowing that he was now going to be running this program, that was huge for me to, you know, that attracted me here.
Are you going to miss the snow?
No.
Where's home originally?
Massachusetts.
Wow. So Massachusetts to Boise, now to mid-Missouri. You're getting a chance to see the entire country. You met him in 2014 when he was on the staff there. What is it about his makeup that you like?
He's the same day in and day out. He's Coach Drink, whether you're just talking to him man to man, like outside of football, he just treats you very equally, and that's what kind of, you know, attracted me to him. He was just the same person inside and out, and I saw the same, you know, when he was 2014, he's the same person as he is now.
I kind of hear a little bit of that Boston accent starting to come out a little bit. That's great. Tori Washburn, who's in the recruiting department, was somebody that was with you at Boise too.
Yep, she actually started with me underneath my video department in 2014 at Boise State. Worked for me for four and a half years. And then once Coach Drink went to Appalachian State, you know, Drink kind of hit me up, asked me about her, and he ended up hiring her to be, I think, his assistant or something like that. And Tori's been taking it over since then.
Yeah.
She's kind of my boss now.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about, because the casual fan has no idea about what you do in your role as the director of video operations. So on a typical practice, how many different angles are you able to present the coaches with in terms of just rolling on raw footage from practice?
We are running 11 cameras at all times during practice. So we have 7 in the sky and usually 4 on the ground, getting every single angle. And then during practice, we're flipping cards so I can start getting in early into the system. So coaches, about 5 minutes after practice, they can start breaking it down and start watching it. But Yeah, it gets a little hectic with 11 different cameras, understanding who's getting what and where everyone is. So you have to be very dialed.
And do different coaches prefer different angles?
They do. You know, sometimes at the beginning of fall camp, Coach Drink wanted like a QB cam, so we had to do a wide shot, a tight shot, and then we had a little pole cam right behind the quarterback so we can get his perspective of the play as it develops. So, yeah, there's definitely different preferences that coaches, and me in my first year with these guys, it's, you know, learning what they want, and I think I'm finally to that point where I'm comfortable with what they want.
How about on a game? You know, Missouri and Kentucky Saturday, how many cameras? Is it 11 again? And just walk us through game day.
No, we'll only run 3 cameras, so we usually have a wide camera, which is a sideline camera, and then 2 end zone cameras. Coaches always want to have, you know, butts on the camera to them so they can see footwork, all that stuff. And we'll flip the cards after every single quarter and get that game in as quickly as possible. And we have it wired that, you know, on this video board above us in the south end zone, it goes right to me in the press box up there in the west side.
So you're working from the 6th level of the press box during the course of the game. How long does it take you to cut up a game? I mean, you know, you hear the old coaches that come up as GAs and things like that, and the way that they used to have to splice film and all that nonsense. In this day and age, given technology where it is, how soon can you deliver a game after it?
So we usually change up after every single quarter, so that gives me a little bit of a head start. But home games, I can usually get it done and broken down about 5 minutes after the final whistle to have the coaches and GAs start breaking it down. Away games, I have to get it on like maybe 12, 13 iPads so they can watch on the film and on the plane.
On the plane on the way back, and that's the thing people don't understand. I mean, guys aren't just sitting there; they're relaxing. I mean, they've got computers in front of them watching film from that game going the way home.
Every single minute matters to these coaches. So I mean, if they don't have the iPad on the bus, they're asking me about 20 minutes after the final whistle, where's the film at, everything like that.
Talk about your staff just a little bit, because you've got some full-time guys, but you also have some students that help you too. So just to give us an idea of your staff.
Yeah, so I have 15 students that work underneath me, all for Coach's Video. I think about 8 females, 7 males that work for me. I actually brought another person working for me at Boise State, Cameron Stevenson, that actually was working with the Chiefs before this. She's kind of, her and James Penn are kind of my 2 main assistants that help me get through the day.
Yeah. So what part of Massachusetts did you grow up?
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod. Okay. So Red Sox fan, I guess.
Red Sox, Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, everything.
Here we go. Yeah. So do you get a chance to make it back to that part of the country much?
I try to about summertime and then Christmas time, depending on.
Cape Cod in the summer. Funny that you would want to go to Cape Cod in the summer. I mean, that's shocking, Kyle.
Yeah. I mean, it's best place to be in the summertime.
Yeah, Kevin, I apologize. I called you Kyle. What is it about this team that you've noticed? Because you were at Boise for 9 years. What is it about this team that you've noticed that you like?
They're very quick to adapt. You know, with everything, all this changing, everything's changing by the minute, and they're very quickly to adapt, go with what Drink wants, and they can quickly go to that other direction. That's what I kind of noticed about this team a lot.
Thanks for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Kevin Riley, Director of Video Operations for Mizzou Football. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with DJ Smith, also with Nick Bolton and Coach Eli Drinkwitz. I'm Mike Kelly. Tigers in Kentucky this weekend on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, IMG College.